Hello again. This will be an English video. I'm gonna speak in English. Actually, I am trying to create more English videos in my YouTube journey, but my English was not good at the past videos, so I'm continuing to try to create some English videos again. And in this video, our topic will be our contexts of thinking, especially in emotions and like rational stuff. In this context, we will gonna think about art, actually, because art is an important context of communicate with emotions and to tell people, to tell anyone about our emotions. An artist is someone who trying to tell something about his emotions, and an art is really addicted to the artists. So in this context, we need to consider about the artists when we think about art. So that's why I am going to put the artists on the context of art for importantly. So first of all, what is art? We can think about this because this is important. When we think about the art, the emotions just occur importantly because art is something about just creating a communication about emotions. It's the best way to tell someone about your feelings or emotions, because emotion is a different context than anything different. It's like impossible, or just like not impossible, but it is really hard to tell someone about your emotions without art, because the languages like the spoken languages, or especially I see mathematics as a language too, and there are many people who sees like that too, but like mathematics, the languages, the spoken languages like English, Turkish, Spanish, French, or etc., or any tool to tell something, to understand something, because I have a video about languages, but it's in Turkish. If someone wants to translate it, he or she can, but at the same time I can translate it too, but if someone wants it, of course. But language is really important because language is a tool. When we think about languages as a tool, we need to understand what is the goal of tools, because tools leads to understanding something differently, and it really improves something. For example, in mathematics is a language of numbers, and maybe you can think about groups, you can think about anything statistical, but we know arithmetics, geometry, and etc. The mathematics creates models, and these models tools of mathematics, and mathematics is a tool of our mind to tell something and improve something. So that's why the tools makes us comfortable to think about something really hard about to think. So that's why if you try to tell someone about numbers, you use mathematics rather than words. Why? Because mathematics is a good way to tell something which needs to have functions, For example, in physics, we use mathematics. Why we don't use words? Sometimes we use words, but the tool of physics is mathematics. Why? Because Isaac Newton um, has created a system of physics which has time. The operator of time leads us to understand nature, mechanistic nature. Sometimes we call it Newtonian nature, because there's time. There's time, and it's independent from our mind, from our any understanding system. That's why the time is independent. When time becomes independent from anyone, from anything, it becomes a dimension. When it becomes a dimension in mathematical models, it becomes a variable in functions. You can think about a function which is called ft. We just call it like ft is something like this. Right, like this. Okay, you like this. I know it is straight or not, but it can be inversed, but we have some functions with time. So when you think about time, you can create some models in physics. So it makes you it makes possible to create physical models, and makes you possible to understand the nature, how it works, what is nature, how it works nature, etc. I'm gonna close the okay. So that's a language, that's a tool to understand something. When you think about things like physics, things like we cannot actually exactly see, but we can imagine about them, then you need mathematics. Without mathematics, it's really hard. I have a text about hard stuff, and actually at that text I have really good arguments about hardness, and when we think about hard stuff, we need tools, and that tools like mathematics or languages, that languages makes more easy to improve the thing of our models. So this is a good way to create our systems. So in art, it's about emotions, but it's same, because words are not enough by their own systems, because the emotions are not like deterministic, or I think it's not deterministic and rational or realistic stuff, because emotions are really complex. In my way of understanding, emotions have really good complex system, and that complex system is not really understood by humanity. So that's why we use art. With art, we can create a system of emotions, like poetries, like just paintings, music, and that kind of artifact stuff. We can tell our emotions. Of course, this is not enough definition of art, but it's really important, because with art we can at the same time understand and transfer our thoughts or our emotions to someone else. That's why it's important. In this context, I will recommend a Tolstoy's book, which is called "What is Art," and it's really good, because it's really complex, because it's considers the historical stuff at the same time. So with this way you can understand why we think art as a different stuff than emotional stuff. Is it aesthetic? Is it just about beautiful stuff or etc.? No, but in art, of course, we may see some beautiful stuff, because some beautiful stuff is a good way to transfer our emotions to anyone, because human mind uh, works like that. When we see some beautiful stuff, that beautiful stuff, because of the some because of the some properties of our mind, we can see it more clearly, we can understand it more clearly. That's why beautiful things are effective when we try to transfer our emotions to anyone. Like in mathematics, in transferring, in telling emotions to anyone, we need something else rather than straight language. That's why we should create another systems. We should create another models to understand and transfer it. Okay, this is the all. There's nothing to say in my mind, so okay. See ya.